All right, now let's turn our attention to Nigeria's automotive industry. Well, owning a personal vehicle is of economic importance. Next to housing, transportation is often the second largest expenditure for the majority of urban households anywhere in the world. But insufficient purchasing power among middle-class Nigerians, coupled with limited or no access to vehicle financing, puts cars out of reach for over 90% of the population. Joining us now is Timi Tope Ologunoye, COO, Autochek Africa. Great to have you on the program. Good morning.
Good morning, Ladi. Good morning, viewers. Happy to be on the show this morning.
Great to have you join us. So, in many countries around the world, the automotive industry plays both a strategic and, catalytic role in economic development. For you, what measures can be taken to transform, Nigeria's automotive industry and attract investment into the sector?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me speak on the subject matter. I think the Nigerian market for automobiles is really very massive and can readily sustain an automobile industry. According to our Vice President some times back, he said that the country's annual vehicle demand, for example, is at about 720,000 units annually, and the local production that we have has only been able to reach up to about 14,000 units. So this just represents, let me say, about 2% really of capacity to actually satisfy the massive need that we have in Nigeria. So it therefore means that we have, say, 706,000 units that we have to source from outside of Nigeria, either by way of imports of maybe new cars or pre-owned cars that we popularly refer to as Tokumbo in Nigeria. As a nation, really, I know that we have produced in the past about 150,000 cars annually. So in all honesty, all the tools, all the mechanisms are really there. And like you said, the only missing thing in the puzzle is auto financing. And I think once financing really comes in, sales will begin to grow. The production capacity of local assemblers will improve. And the sector will really become very attractive for investment. So
right.
It therefore really means that the market size for automobiles in Nigeria can easily even reach like 1 million units annually if there is really an affordable vehicle credit purchase.
All right. Talking about
right?
Yeah. Talking about financing now, it seems the car financing culture is struggling, to take flight. What do you think are the challenges here?
Well, I would think that it is safe to say that without very strong financing schemes, really, the growth of the sector cannot really be fully optimized or achieved. In your introduction, you were talking about the insufficient purchasing power among the middle class. And in reality, next to housing, transportation is often the second largest expenditure that really takes money out of people's pockets. And in developed economies, really, car loans and vehicle financing schemes really help people to be able to spread their vehicle purchase payments over several months, even years. Unfortunately, in our climate era, it's still very nascent. Even the available loans are significantly very costly and inaccessible. However, I must really say that this has improved significantly in the last 1.5, 18 months, 2 years, especially from the time that we at Autochek actually started trying to solve problem in the sector, really. So the fact that we have been able to now create an auto loan marketplace where the banks and all the other financial institutions, microfinance institutions, digital lenders are now able to compete for customers. We are beginning to see a trend where interest rates are being driven down. More people are now able to get access to financing to buy their dream cars, whether they are salary earners or even if they are SME businesses, really. Today, there are banks on our platform who are actually providing credit facilities that are running into billions of naira monthly. In the March that just ended yesterday, for example, a bank actually provided credit facility in excess of 500 million on our platform. That's about $1.2 million. So we must also recognize the fact that we are making progress as a country, really. So the general consumer lending has virtually increased across board now. Banks are now being able to see consumer lending as a viable business. I must say thanks to the CBN's initiative to continue to make financial services sector more consumer friendly now. And I just believe that things can only continue to improve. So these are the areas that we are beginning to see, and it's giving us confidence to continue to invest in the sector. Okay, and I really think that other service providers too can also invest and participate in the auto sector.
Right, and I saw, a couple of companies, getting that buy now, pay later model into car sales. How's that catching on?
Yeah, I think it's been catching on like wildfire. I must really be honest. We had not even anticipated the level of embrace that we had actually experienced in the last couple of months, especially in Nigeria and some of the other African markets where we really operate. I think prior to now, most of the banks and financial institutions shy away really from providing credits on Tokumbo vehicles. They would rather just provide credits for new cars. But in reality, new cars is just about 5% of the cars that are driving on the roads. Now, unlike when the banks are providing finance on only these new cars, we have now been able to use the Autochek technology, for example, to boost the confidence of our financial partners, about 70 of them, for example, providing credit on our platform, to be able to provide reasonable interest on these Tokumbo cars to Nigerian customers, right? We bring in our technology, use our 150-point inspection methodology, use our artificial intelligence, machine learning-driven credit decisioning tools to advise them, even on the residual value of the car, the vehicle condition analysis. And then in the case of a customer default, they now have confidence that we can also launch these vehicles back to our auction and recover principal and interest outstanding for them. I really think this is really increasing credit penetration now, making credits available on these Tokumbo cars. A lot of this progress is being made, and honestly, I must say that we continue to be well beyond our expectation at the level of penetration that we've experienced in the last 12 months.
Quite interesting, quite interesting. Well, the National Automotive Industry Development Plan, was deployed to revive vehicle manufacturing and components and parts. But how do you see it so far?
We for example, at Autochek, we ran an auto summit sometimes in February, where we actually brought together all the players in the automotive ecosystem, including the Director General of NADDC, the President of Association of Motor Dealers of Nigeria, still trying to fix the puzzles around this problem with local assembly and production capacity in Nigeria. So the truth is that even though these different stakeholders and parties are speaking from different sides of the divide, I must say that significant progress has actually been made with local assembly of automobiles in the country, and we must really commend some of these local assemblies for making these huge investments. And even for a savvy businessman like Dangote, for example, to have entered into the sector actually shows the potential that is in there that can actually be milked. And like every policy or plan, I just think that the NAIDP requires some form of periodic review, really. Stakeholders need to continue to regularly come together to review and identify these areas that we can actually improve in the Nigeria Automotive Development Program, as well as encouraging people to really come to make some improvements happen. So this is the reason, for example, that we are really very keen on this. I think the fact that some of these policies are beginning to how do I call it now? Provide some incentives, for example, for some of these OEMs, creating an environment that allows them to be able to survive and even attract other original equipment manufacturers into the sector is also helping the economy to receive some kinds of boost. As we continue to give rebates and incentives to these local assembly people, we review the tariff incentive schemes to enable them to be able to show up the local manufacturing capacity in Nigeria. I believe that the trend can only go northwards.
Tope Timi Ologunoye, COO, Autochek Africa. Thank you so much for coming on the program and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you very much, Ladi. Thanks, VF.